Hey friends, it's me, Lisa from Hand Letter Design. We are going to do Mental Health Monday, and today I'm talking about irritability. So I'm very excited to have you join me. I'm keeping it totally real today. And for some reason, my Instagram live wasn't wanting to work, but I got it to work, so I'm a little bit later than I thought I was going to be, but that's okay. So I just put a post on my feed that said, not letting irritability win, because so much of the time when we feel irritable, it just kind of takes over, and it's just, I don't even know how to explain it, but it's like you start feeling irritable and then everything goes downhill and your life seems like terrible and everyone around you seems terrible. So what happened was a few weeks ago, or a little while ago, I can't remember exactly when, I totally started feeling irritable. Yes, it's like a monster is taking over. It's like it's not you. And one of the ways that I know I'm feeling irritable and that it's not like really someone doing something terrible to me is that I'm irritated by everything. Okay? I'm irritated by everything everyone says. I'm irritated by the way that things are going. And so that's kind of my little cue as to what's happening. So I don't even remember exactly what the situation was, but I remember my husband came home, and I don't know in my mind, I thought he should have been home sooner, or I don't know. I was totally annoyed. and I was annoyed by my kids. I was just totally annoyed. Everyone was annoying me. Everything was annoying me. Okay. And so I just thought about it, and I thought, I want to come on here and share my experience, what happened, and how I dealt with it that time. I think I did a little better than in the past. Okay, in the past, I think I would have been a little bit more like letting irritability totally take over and win, which would have looked like getting into a completely needless fight with my husband over something that didn't matter at all, or it wasn't even real, and probably yelling at my kids over something not important also. Okay, so what happened was I noticed what was going on, and I started feeling like, oh my gosh, I am so annoyed right now. This is so annoying. And I could feel myself. You know those feelings? You just start feeling really annoyed. And my very first step was to just be aware and realize what was happening. Okay? So it's like, okay, something isn't right. Something's off. I don't normally get annoyed by every single little thing that's going on. And I'm just noticing something isn't right. And so normally what I might try to do, either continue to just be super annoyed with everybody else, or be really hard on myself and be like, oh, what's my problem? Why am I so annoyed? I shouldn't be annoyed. I can do this. I gotta be kinder. I gotta be nicer. I gotta, and I would like fight myself through this irritability, and it would just get worse. I would just be more irritable. And so instead, what I did this time was I recognized what was happening, and I just voiced it. And I said, I'm feeling irritable right now. And my husband was there. So this is not always an option for everyone to remove themselves from the situation. But my husband was there, and I said, I'm feeling really irritable right now for some reason, and I'm going to go take a break. And he's like, okay, because I don't think anybody really was dying to have me around when I'm super irritable and annoyed at everything they're doing. So I went upstairs to my room and I took a break. And what was good for me is that I felt like I had two choices when I started feeling really irritable. One was to completely read into the feelings and the thoughts that I was having and be like, oh, I can't even remember if it was that he was home later than I thought or whatever it was. I could have totally like read into those feelings and started a conversation. Or I could just say, I don't feel right. I don't normally feel like this. I'm feeling really irritable. I need to take a break. Okay. So I went up to my room and I had to realize that these, yes, my own timeout for sure. Okay. And I had to realize like these thoughts that I'm having are irrational. Like, I don't think it's not really fun to admit that we're having irrational thoughts because we like to be in control. We like to be normal. I'm not normal. Nobody's normal. And so to say these are irrational thoughts, I'm not going to read into them. I'm not going to believe them. That's okay. And it's also okay to say, I don't have to fight all of them right now and fix them all. Instead of overthinking the irrational thoughts, I'm just going to say, I'm irritable right now. And guess what? It's okay for all humans to be irritable at times. It really, really is. So part of my solution to this was that I didn't try to fix them. I knew that I don't have irritable thoughts all the time or irrational thoughts all the time. So for me, that wasn't like, oh my gosh, I need to fix this. It was, this isn't normal. I'm pretty sure this is going to pass. I'm not going to try to fix my irrational thoughts right now because I'm just feeling irritable. Instead, I'm going to say, everyone feels irritable sometimes. And that's another thing that's huge is like, can I allow my kids to feel irritable? Can I allow my husband to feel irritable? Just kind of realizing that it's all humans feel that way sometimes. And you can definitely start taking note, like if this is happening a lot, or if it's kind of a cue that maybe there's something else that's wrong. For me that day, I don't know what it was. Something happened and I just felt irritable. And if I would have kept trying to fight the feelings and staying in the situation, it would have gotten worse. I think I would have probably had a big meltdown. But instead it was like, I feel irritable and it's fine. And it's really great when we can allow other people to feel irritable sometimes too. But also for me, I'm pregnant right now. So I've got hormones happening. When I'm not pregnant, I have a cycle that happens and very like clockwork could recognize that I would feel irritable at the same time every month. And so recognizing those cues are huge because it's also not something that's who you are and you're not a bad person. But just realizing that, yes, it's okay. I don't have to fix all of this right now. Now, if you want to, you can identify some of the irrational thoughts and recognize or try to replace them. Like for me, I can say, okay, I know that my kids are just being kids and they actually aren't trying to ruin my life. And I know that by doing or saying whatever he said, my husband was not trying to be rude or annoy me or whatever I thought was happening. Like I can try to replace those thoughts if I want to. But if I just raise my awareness about what's happening and I don't feed it and I just recognize it, it's so much more likely to leave faster than if I, number one, feed all the irrational thoughts and get into a big fight and blow up. But if I can just say, I'm feeling irritable right now. I know these thoughts aren't rational. I'm just going to wait it out. I'm just going to give myself a break and say it's okay to feel irritable, but I'm not going to go crazy on these irrational thoughts, believing them, and I'm just going to move on and hope that it goes away. And so for me, lately, when I do that, they don't last forever and they do go away. And even later that night, I was able to go and help put the kids to bed, and I was so proud of myself, because in the past I would have just held on to that irritability and let it win. Instead, I didn't fight it. I didn't say I'm a bad person for feeling it. I didn't say I've got to fix this instant. I gave myself some time. I recognized what was happening. I knew that there was some reason, but I didn't go crazy trying to figure out the reason. And I just worked through it, breathed, just let it go. And I didn't force it to leave. I didn't force my thoughts to change right away. And so that's kind of was super helpful. Do you feel like because you get to do hand lettering, you have an outlet? Oh, if you do feel irritable every day, that's something to look at. I mean, I get a lot of help. I have had a lot of help with therapy and my thoughts, and I do have a really meaningful outlet with hand lettering and stuff like that too. So you can use some of the affirmations that might help you. And I do have, I use some of the affirmations from my book, The Guide to Mindful Lettering. Like I will go through and use some of the affirmations from here and letter them, or just say them to myself to kind of help myself through different things so that I don't allow it to become bigger than it is. And that's with the irritability. I just was like, I'm just not going to let this blow up into something bigger than it is. I'm just feeling irritable. That's it. It's normal. It's human. Everybody feels irritable sometimes. So that's my thought for today. Thank you so much for joining me. If you would go back to my last post and leave a comment, let us know what thoughts or advice you have for how you deal with it. That would be awesome. And thank you so much for joining another Mental Health Monday. We'll see you guys later.